Welcome to Stockholm. It's about 2 years ago when Mercedes presents their new brand, the electric brand called EQ. But today is the day because now we're going to see the first production car, which is called EQC. How it looks like, let's find out now. So this is it. This is the production model of the EQC. And now I'm going to talk to some of my colleagues and to some experts to find out more about that brand new electrified car. So we're here in front of the EQC, let's say, drivetrain. I read that the car will have a maximum output of 300 kilowatts. And we always talk about range and sustainability and all this stuff. How does that work and how does the drivetrain work that way?
The good thing is that you can have on the one hand huge power, and on the other hand you can have a very efficient running engine. And what we did here is finally the front engine you can see here. This is mainly running on on maximum efficiency. The rear is for power, so the rear one especially also gives you the typical Mercedes feeling, no doubt. And so in the end you can combine power and sportiness and efficiency in one car.
When we talk about electric battery-powered cars, some people have some issues regarding to safety. What does Mercedes do to make that car safe and secure for everybody?
As always, safety is our main asset, no doubt, and you can see it here already in the battery, which we have behind us. You have big battery protection on the sides. You see those big aluminium profiles on the car. Additionally, we have taken care that no obstacle can intrude the battery from the floor. So finally, yes, safety was one of the most important topics we took in account when designing the whole car. And the battery is integrated in the best place, no doubt, so in between the axles, together with the passive safety of the battery, you have the maximum safety on this.
So now I found my good colleague and friend Jan Gleitzmann from Ausfall TV. Jan, this is it. This is the new EQC. What do you think about it? Because I really do like the style of the car.
Well, talking about design, I think the front is pretty different from what I've seen so far from Mercedes. But with a black panel, it's kind of cool. And I think that's a trend all cars will go to because we don't need air coming in too much anymore. However, the side is pretty much GLC, to be honest. And even this, we do a crossover. Is it an SUV or an SUV coupe? Well, you know, it's an SUV, period. I like the back with the light band, the LEDs. It's pretty nice, but it's pretty big too.
What do you think about the day-to-day drive with that car? They say they limit it at 180 kilometers, but is it a car for day-to-day driving?
Well, first of all, we have to look at the potential clients or customers who will buy this car. They pretty much have the money and don't have to look at any penny, you know. So they will get the car with all the systems that will enable their reach on one side, and you have a bird view camera. And even a big car like that will park easily. However, the speed limit, I mean, look at this. We're in Germany, we don't have a speed limit, but all around in Europe or even in the US, worldwide, we have speed limits, so they won't bother that the speed is limited.
Do you think that this is a car that will attract a lot of people, or is it just for somebody who will really say, yes, I want to drive electric?
Well, we have to look at the certain markets, I guess. For instance, in Germany, the whole electric mobility is still not really there, you know. So some people will probably buy it. I do believe California is a big market, Norway might be a big market. All the markets where you already drive electric vehicles, you will have enough people with enough money to buy this car, and I think they will do because the materials, the quality is made in Germany, and at least in my opinion as a German much better as the stuff from America.
So this next to me is Robert Lesnick from the exterior design. Robert, I have a question. First of all, I have to say I really do like the look of the car because it looks so different to what we saw from the concepts. But what are the most important topics of the exterior design of that car now?
First, thank you very much. We like it too. Yeah, they are. I mean, today is a very important day for us because we are not only presenting one car, EQC, but actually we are starting, to write the story for the whole EQ family. And some very important design details. Just we are standing here at the front of the car. This so-called black panel, we connected the lights to the grille, is one of the very strong elements, so-called signature graphics that we are going to do also in the foreseeable future, definitely.
When we have a look at the car from the side, it looks very, very clean, very clear. So why did you do this, and what did you just get rid of?
That was one of the main goals on this car, to keep it as simple, as clean as possible. One side effect is as well, everything looks more aerodynamic. I mean, in fact it is, not because of the body side, because of the rear, of course, but the body side, in compared to other cars in this segment, we have GLC, for example, with an undercut, with a so-called dropping line. Still, we had other cars with other lines, catwalk lines, for example. We got rid of all those lines and really wanted to create a pure sculpture, a monolithic shape of the car, and I believe we succeeded.
When we talk about the design of the car, and we're talking about EQ is just the beginning, EQC is just the beginning of the EQ family. What gonna be similar with the upcoming cars when we talk about this car now?
Obviously, we will change the proportion. Doesn't mean that every EQ in the future car will be SUV. Of course, there will be also other segments, smaller, bigger, lower, and for all those proportions, we need to, or we will adapt those elements that we have here, that we started with on the EQC, and we believe there will be something very recognizable. Towards the internal combustion engine cars in the first place.
When we talk about Mercedes-Benz and one model, we always talk about trim lines or trim levels. When we talk about the standard trim level and, let's say, the AMG trim level, what will be the difference regarding to the EQC?
As usual, AMG line should always look a bit more sporty, a bit more aggressive. We lowered the ramp angle, but we of course kept that signature front grille line. There will be, for example, absolutely no chrome in the grille, so it will be even more consequent. And we moved the side air intakes and put the function in them. So we have air curtain with full function in the front, for example. And there are, of course, different wheels as we do in other cars as well.
Next to me now is Hartmut Sinkwitz. He's from the interior design. So Hartmut, that car really looks a lot different to what I saw with the concept car. What are the highlights of the interior of that car?
Well, we've got the same general idea for the dashboard, going just for one simple, beautiful volume with a wing profile shape and a strong expressive cutout, and then the position of our widescreen, and below a technical looking cassette that contains the air vents. And this idea is still the same like in our show car that we've presented 2 years ago. And I'm really proud about that, that we've managed to realize this idea even in a production car.
When we talk about the interior of the car, we see, for instance, this big panel up here. Can you give me some more, let's say, facts and figures about what that car delivers?
Yeah, it delivers the fully digital interface. We start even with screens for the instrument cluster area. We've combined that with the central screen, which is also a touch screen, which operates very smoothly and interacts very directly. And we've got a perfect interface here that can be used on the steering wheel with direct touch, but also with a touchpad on the center console where you can rest your arm and still enjoy the comfort like in a traditional Mercedes. So this is a very performant interface system, but we also offer a lot of beautiful new details like the air vents that are inspired by printed circuit boards instead of the round vents, for example, coming up with the detailings in a rosé gold treatment, bringing some color into the car, and some new textile looking like surfaces inspired by high-tech sportswear on the dashboard with a wonderful haptic. So we show with many details the very innovative environment here that clearly brings across it's a very high quality Mercedes, but very electric.
That was it from the world premiere of the Mercedes EQC, so the first production car of the new EQ family. I really have to say, I absolutely do like the exterior and interior design of the car, especially when you have a closer look to the concept car. And I think the numbers of the car are quite impressive. But we're going to find out how it works regarding to the competitors in the market, and we will find out how that car's driving on the road quite soon.